Hey everyone, Olive here, and welcome to my June wrap-up. I can't believe it's this time of year already, and on Saturday it is July 1st, which means it is Canada's 150th, which is so exciting! Happy birthday, Canada! As I alluded to in my June TBR, I said that I was in the midst of reading Lord of Shadows, and I did finish it, and let me tell you what I think. Like most fans of Cassandra Clare, I loved this book. Cassandra Clare is one of those rare authors whose books I will read and just love every single one of them every time. I started reading Mortal Instruments back in high school, and even though I am not in high school anymore by quite a few years, I still always come back to Cassandra Clare because even though it is young adult fiction, I find her characters so relatable, and there's something so amazing about reading about characters and plots that are so complex, but yet Cassandra Clare is able to portray the plots and characters in a very simple but very meaningful way. And I don't mean simple as in Clary's hair is red. I mean Cassandra Clare has the ability to really portray emotions, and through emotions and her plot, she's able to very easily express how her characters are feeling. So this is a spoiler-free zone, so I'm not gonna tell you what's going on inside this tome. However, I will say that for a second book in the series, it was really good. At first I wasn't 100% sure if it was gonna pick up or not, because I wouldn't say the first few chapters are slow, but they are a little bit more steady. Holy moly, things pick up real quick, especially towards the end of the book, and if you have read this book, you know what I am referring to. Suddenly, you think everything's gonna be fine, and then BAM! Shit gets real. Cassandra Clare has such an amazing ability to weave in character plots to each other, so this book is definitely no exception. Because this is the second book in the series, I was waiting for someone to die on every page. That is no spoiler. That's just how Cassandra Clare writes sometimes, because you know that she wraps you up in her characters so thoroughly that it's almost like watching Game of Thrones, where you're wondering if someone's gonna die that you care about, and all you can do is just keep on reading. I know that a lot of Cassandra Clare fans believe this to be her best series yet. I would disagree with that. In my personal opinion, the Infernal Devices are the best. And I think that has a lot to do, for me personally, with the fact that in that series, it's her second, and so Cassandra Clare really has gotten the ability to write about the shadow hunting world much more effectively, much more tightly. Character development and plot is off the hook, and it also takes place in Victorian England. So that combination of things for me, plus just the plot generally in itself, makes that series better for me. I like the Mortal Instruments second best, because that has a lot to do with nostalgia for me, honestly, and just learning about the Shadowhunter world has a lot to do with that as well. And these beautiful books, The Dark Artifices, are very fantastic too. I know that her writing is a lot more effective and maybe even more tightly written, and I appreciate that so much. I'm definitely not saying I don't love these books. I'm just saying that I like the other ones better. It's almost like when you make cookies, because you pull a cookie pan out of the oven, first cookie you have is probably going to be way too hot, second cookie you have is the perfect amount of delicious warm cookie from the oven, and then once you get to the third cookie, it doesn't taste quite as warm and delightful as that second perfect cookie. Can you tell I've been craving sugar all week? The second book I read this month is Dark Places by Gillian Flynn. This one I've had quite a few issues trying to get through. I personally would not recommend it. And I say that hesitatingly because there's nothing I hate about this book, I just feel so impartial to it. And I know it was a bestseller, I know it was turned into a movie, all that kind of stuff. However, for me, the plot just wasn't really anything to write home about. So the plot very much so tries to drag you in by its darkness and the severity and violence of the crime. It is I almost said the German word. It is a thriller. So, of course, there's gonna be a crime, blah, 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 but I do find that Flynn tried to sort of reel you in with the gruesomeness of the crime. I don't know if I am not as affected by that because I work with crime stuff every day, because I work in criminology, and I don't know, for me that it just didn't really do too much for me. So I will say though that the climax, again no spoilers, was incredible. So even though, you know, there were parts where I was really trying to just, you know, plug away at, I found the climax was really great, and I read it super fast because you just, at that point, you gotta know what's happening. I did watch the movie, and I was really impressed and surprised that the movie was very, very similar to the book. So that was one really positive thing, and I love Charlize Theron. She's amazing. And the very last book that I read this month, and last month as well technically, is Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen. This was our Bluestocking Bells book club book for this month as well as last month, so you'll be getting a separate video about my opinions on this. I have wanted to read this book for forever, so it was finally nice to get her done, and it was really enjoyable, so do look forward to my review on Northanger Abbey. Lastly, I just have to take a moment to say that I have finally been reading A Court of Thorns and Roses, and I am obsessed. So I'm reading this book because BookTube suggested it, threw it in my face. Everyone has read it, basically, besides me at this point. So I am just loving this. So thank you, BookTube, for encouraging me to read this fantastic book, as well as Feather, who also encouraged me in person in our Bluestocking Bells Unite video to buy this book. So I'll have to let you know next month how I feel about it. I am about halfway through right now, so almost there. I'm gonna power through this and finish it really soon, I think, because I am just in love with it. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hopefully you enjoyed my wrap up, and look forward to our Northanger Abbey reviews coming up soon, as well as other fun videos. I know it's summertime, so I know that us bells have been struggling a little bit to do our videos on time because we get distracted by all the fun summer things and all that kind of stuff, and maybe you are as well. So hopefully some people watch this video. Have a fantastic day. It is sunny in Toronto. Shocker there, because it's awful here lately, whatever. And happy reading to you all.